Hey guys, it's Jenny. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworm. Today I have a trilogy review. Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome new subscribers. Thanks to all of you for your continued support. Whether you're here for books or crafts, I appreciate each and every one of you. So, I do have a review of the Once Upon a Broken Heart Trilogy, and this is by Stephanie Garber. This is actually a kind of a spin-off series from the Caraval Trilogy. I first read Once Upon a Broken Heart last July, and I just never went any further with it. And you think I would have, considering I absolutely loved the Caraval Trilogy, and I wanted to carry on. So I wanted to read The Ballad of Never After, but I felt like that's book 2 of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. But I really felt like I needed to go back to Once Upon a Broken Heart and kind of refresh my memory on things that happened in that story so that I could continue. So there's Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love. The first 2 books I have physical form. The third book I got on my Kindle. And you guys, absolutely loved the trilogy just as much as I loved the Caraval Trilogy, because the Caraval Trilogy was just amazing. Stephanie Garber just really has a knack for fantasy storytelling. Her imagery is fantastic, especially the Caraval Trilogy. You know, it was just everything. It kind of reminded me of like a carnival or circus atmosphere, and then like a Harry Potter shops kind of section, and just the imagery was fantastic. And the imagery in Once Upon a Broken Heart is also good. Just, you know, you don't have as much to describe as you do in the Caraval Trilogy. But like I said, the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy is a spinoff of the Caraval Trilogy. And in this trilogy, we're following Evangeline and then Jax, who is the Prince of Hearts. Now, in these 2 trilogies combined, they have what they call fates. And fates are not human, they are immortal, but they can be destroyed, they can be killed. They just won't die of natural causes. They don't age, they're all beautiful. You know how that whole trope goes with fantasies. And so Jax is a fate. So Evangeline is one of those girls who just wants the fairy tale life. She wants to find her true love. She wants to marry and have her happily ever after. Well, our story does not start out with Evangeline's happily ever after. It starts out with her broken heart. She thought she found her true love in Luke, but Luke is marrying somebody else. Now, Evangeline is beside herself. She just doesn't even know what she's going to do without Luke, but she does feel like there's foul play, that Luke was cursed, and that is the reason why he's marrying somebody else, because they were very close to getting married, and all of a sudden it's gone. So Evangeline gets the bright idea of, hey, I heard about Jax, who is a fate. Now, the rest of the fates were destroyed. They were all supposed to be destroyed, but here's Jax. She decides she's going to find Jax and ask him for a favor. She wants him to stop the wedding because Luke has to be under a curse. He is supposed to be marrying her, and she needs her happily ever after. So she finds Jack and approaches him. And one detail about Jax is he loves apples, and he has apples of all colors. He has white apples and black apples and gold apples, and that's kind of like his trademark. He's very, she has a really good description of him in the book. He just exudes like, I don't know what even the word, like everybody wants to be around Jax. Like, he's got this personality and this kind of tricks Evangeline a little bit into thinking that Jax is a person that is going to care for her and he's going to help her, but he's not. Jax is a very arrogant fate. He doesn't care who he's hurting. He is a fantastic villain, and that is how I perceive Jax. A lot of people like him, and I do too. I love him as a character. I just don't like him as a person, even though he's not human. You know what I mean? He is strictly villain to me. And so he decides that he is going to grant Evangeline's request, and he will stop this wedding, but he asks for 3 kisses. Now, Evangeline is like freaking out, like, are you talking about a peck on the cheek, or, you know, kind of thing. And he tells her, you know, well, you can't kiss me, I can't kiss you because you will die. So that is kind of a curse that Jax has, is he can't kiss unless it's his one true love. And he feels like he found his one true love in Donatella, who was in the first trilogy, and it didn't kill her. And he tells Evangeline that that just made Jax's heart beat again. So that's all I'm going to tell you, because if you haven't read that trilogy, I'm not going to give away a whole bunch in that one. So he wants her to kiss 3 different people that he chooses. Now, this is a huge part of the plot. Okay, this is there's a huge reason behind this. So that's something you can discover as you read it. So I'm not going to tell you how he stops the wedding or any of this stuff. This is stuff that you really need to, you know, discover on your own. The one thing that I really, really adore about Stephanie Garber's writing is her imagery, is her character development. She's very, very good at that. Now, she made Jax a very good villain, and I was really happy to see that she kept him a villain. He stayed in character the whole trilogy. I didn't want to see him twist around and become, you know, this little softy. Now, you see many different sides of Jax as you're going through this trilogy, and you're seeing different sides of Evangeline as well. Now, something else interesting in this trilogy is that there's kind of another backstory tucked into this main story. And this story is going to cover, like, different people that Jax has interacted with and different people that Evangeline was told about as kind of a fairy tale, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of different characters that come together in this story that Evangeline is learning. Maybe this wasn't all a fairy tale, because her mom would tell her stories about the Arches and the Valors and all these people involved, and that's pretty much the premise of the story. Evangeline starts to learn about all of this and what are truths and what are not. And then Jax, you just see him grow by leaps and bounds, just all different sides of Jax, but he does not stray from being the villain. And I absolutely love that. I applaud Stephanie Garber for keeping him in that class. And like I said, a lot of people liked him. You know, they just think he's a fantastic character, and I do too, but only as a villain. You know how people can get crushes on characters and stuff like that. This is definitely not a character, not that I crush on a lot of characters, but he's not a character that I would crush on. But I liked him for his, you know, ability to be a villain and stay a villain. I thought that was fantastic. And as I said, you see lots of sides of Jax through each of these books. And of course, I can't get into like the other 2 books because I don't want to give anything away. I think I've probably given a little bit away of the first trilogy. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Jax, then read that first trilogy, the Caravel trilogy, because he does come in there, and you learn a little bit about the Fates and a little bit more about Jax in that trilogy. They're both fantastic. all these books, all 6 books that I've read, all got 5 stars because Stephanie Garber really knows how to write a fantasy. I absolutely love her writing style. It's so fluid. Her characters are amazing. Her plots are amazing. You know, even, you know, destinations that these people go to are amazing. And, I mean, you'll also learn about, what was her name, Maribel? She's another character in the story. She's a stepsister to Evangeline. I just don't want to give a whole lot away, but I think it's Maribel, if I can remember correctly. It's her stepsister, and that's somebody else you're contending with and trying to figure out who is she. All the characters, there's questions surrounding all these characters that you kind of have to piece together, and you don't necessarily know who is going to be the trustworthy ones, who's not. It's just, there's just all kinds of it, and I don't want to give anything else away. I want you guys to just go into this and just soak it up because it's absolutely fantastic. I think I'm just rambling now on this. So, like I said, they all got 5 stars. All fabulous books. They all were very fluid. Absolutely love them. If you guys have read either one of these trilogies, the Caravel trilogies or the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, let me know down in the comments what you think about both the trilogies, and let me know what your ideas are about Jax. I want to know who views him as a crush, who views him only as a villain. I think that's all I have for you guys today. So thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.